music play. What a little bit the instrumental. You know what I mean? Get us popping while people, pop up in this thing like popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. I don't think it's gonna get. Is it connected? I don't think so. Mm-mm. This one was, but it's not anymore. Yeah. Tap, tap, tap. What up, what up, what up? Hey, man, welcome to another episode of Punch Count. It's your boy, Joe Prophet. My player partner, Ace Boogie, a.k.a. GODTV. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yo, it's been crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's been kind of crazy. You know, had a little situation yesterday. I was out in Vegas at the top ranked gym, just chilling. I ain't really, just normal day, bro. I see Blair Cobbs, and it's pretty interesting, man. You know what I mean? He had a lot to say, had a lot going on. I think I want to let me play something real quick, man. We kind of talked about uh the Brian Norman situation, and Brian Norman, turning down 1.7 and all that. And then and so I had a little conversation with him, Ace, and this is what how it kind of went. Let me ask you this, because you spoke about the Brian Norman situation. How do you feel about that? Him turning down the 1.7 million to fight Boots.
He turned down 1.7 million.
Yes, I don't know if you. Okay, maybe you didn't hear. Yeah, he turned down 1.7 million. His dad said that the reason they turned it down is because after taxes and everything, he wanted his son to walk away with 1.2 million. And at the offer of 1.7, after taxes and everything was cleared, they were walking away with $810,000.
Really?
So that was Blair Cobb's response to Brian Norman Jr. turning down 1.7 million. He was kind of unaware of it, as you can see, and then he kind of laughed at the fact that he turned it down. To that, you say what, Ace?
I think Blair Cobb's talking this shit. He's
He,
trying to tell them that there's definitely an available, exciting fight that's on the table out there. I like it.
now, facts. I mean, you can't deny it. I mean, and when he talked about the point about him selling and them not, you got to go look at the facts. And I mean, he has.
Your mic cut out, Joe. Joe, your mic cut out. Your mic.
That's my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
That's a bigger fight than either one of them guys have been in. Neither one of those guys have been in the ring with a guy of the caliber of Adrian Broner. I mean, we know this.
No.
Okay. So
you gonna say popularity wise?
Popularity wise, yeah. I mean, because I guess where Adrian Broner is in his career, I mean, that's up for debate. If you want to debate that, I don't know. But if we're talking about these matchups, what do you think about a Brian Norman, you know what I'm saying, and a Blair Cobbs, or a Brian Norman, or a Blair Cobbs, a Blair Cobbs and a Jaron Boots Ennis? Like, tell me what you think about those two matchups, because those are potential matchups, especially if Boots stays down and he doesn't vacate and go to 54. I don't think he's doing that anyway, but go ahead.
I think it's funny because we both got a mutual partner who spoke on Blair Cobbs versus Boots. I
Yeah.
want to say like around the Karen fight, maybe a little bit before that. And we
Okay.
was kind of shitting on him about it at the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We like, dude, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But now it look kind of appealing. I think Boots actually needs a fight that means something, or at least a bit satisfying for the fans. And Brian Norman need any type of step up fight or a fight with a popular fighter just to give his name a little bit more value, to give his name more value. So when he is in negotiations with people like Boots, he can get the type of money he's looking for, and not just making ridiculous counter offers.
I mean, we can speak about the money situation. We've talked about it before, but I want to speak on it again because it's some people they have different opinions. Some people say he should have took the money. Some people say, oh, he know what he's doing by holding his nuts on him, so to speak, quote unquote. But then you look at the total landscape of the situation, right? Okay, you turn down the chance to be the main event, and you're in the enemy's home city to come back, and now you're on a. I mean, am I gonna call Keyshawn a prospect or is he a contender? He's a contender. Let's call him a contender. You're going to a contender's
I say he's
homecoming.
a glorified prospect. Glorified prospect.
Glorified.
Yeah. And I ain't saying like in a bad way. I'm just saying, he's one of them guys that when he first stepped in the game, he had a name. So I say like a glorified prospect on his way to being a contender.
So is that when we looking at it today, right now? Did Brian Norman Jr. make the right decision? Was that the right decision to, go fight this? What's this guy's name? Reeves, or I don't even know who this guy is. I mean, I don't know if you've done any research on who this guy is. I don't know too much about him at all.
I don't think it's a step down from I don't think
Cuevas.
it's a step down from what he's already been doing, but it's definitely a step down from the main event at a Boost fight. You know what I mean? It's for sure a step down from that, but from the path he already been on, I don't think he's taking no step down. I think he's just staying on the same, path that he was on.
Yeah.
But the
I
actual
mean,
2.7 million is crazy though. I don't
that's what I'm
understand.
saying, bro. It's like you can act like you want to sound smart and like you made a good business decision, but in reality, you didn't, bro. You about to go fight this dude. You're the co-main. You about to get way less than 1.7. I mean, the number probably gonna be so low it might be another $100,000 payday, like real talk, maybe two. I mean, he has mandatories because he's because he's the WBO champion, so he does have the mandatory minimum, I believe, that he has to get. So I guess that does work in his favor. That's not bad, but it's like that was better than 810,000 fighting Boots next month.
I mean,
I
it's the
can't see
risk
it,
and
bro. I'm
reward
trying to
factor.
look at it. I'm trying to be positive here, but I can't see it. I just can't.
It's the risk versus the reward factor. He can take a low risk and get a guaranteed amount of money and keep raising that value, or he can take a chance and get to his highest payday, which isn't much, but he can take that chance and either win and get more money, or he can lose and be stuck at $100,000 paychecks for the rest of his career.
I mean, he's young though, so that's what works in his favor. But the sport is so unforgiving and such a dangerous sport. It's like trying to wait around and do all that could end up not working in your favor too. You know what I mean? That could actually work against you, probably more than likely. I mean, because a lot of this, and this is my opinion. When it comes to this prize fighting thing, I would think seizing the moment would be the best thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they come so few and far in between. So it's like, all right, when it's here, it's like, we got to jump on this. But then his dad made some comments, my son ain't broke, he ain't hurt for nothing. But I don't really think that means anything when it comes to season the moment. Like, it's so I don't
I
know.
think he's saying they're not desperate to take 1.7. You know what I mean? Because you gotta
Yeah,
think about it, when you come into the game, you got all type of plans for yourself. You probably plan on making a certain amount of money or being able to, you know what I mean? And that's why I keep arguing that 1.7 ain't like an end all be all type of number. Like it's cool because he ain't made nowhere close to that type of money. But when
yeah.
you think about the money you could make, you like, do I want to just take that chance to stop it there at 1.7?
And check this out though. Blair, he said some interesting things when we spoke. Um, I want to play this clip. You know, where he talked about the money situation as well. I want to play this one.
I don't know. Maybe they need to do better with their finances. I mean, first of all, why are you okay? I don't even want to get into like the legal stuff.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, accepting your checks directly by name. Like,
right.
so you're paying a big chunk.
Check.
Yeah, paying a big chunk. You're not even involved in like
versus coming to an LLC.
Yeah,
or
you're not
okay.
involved in an LLC. You're not involved in a trust fund account. You're not involved in like, let's say what do you call it, where you're giving and things like that. Let's say like
like charitable.
Yeah, charitable events and things like that. You're not involving
like
yourself.
a nonprofit.
Yeah, you're not involving yourself with a nonprofit and all these things, and you're a fool. You're a fool, and at the end of the day, you will lose your money, regardless of how much it is.
Goddamn. I mean, whoa. So yeah. I mean, I think he even gave a little bit of game right there. Ace, because
You have muted yourself, Joe.
I never really heard how any of these fighters like really speak about, how they receive their funds, the entities they receive them. So I feel like he was, he dropped a little bit of game right there, as far as the trust funds, the LLCs. I don't know about nonprofits so much, but different corporations that you can receive money in a kind of subsidize or ease taxes. I don't know. I mean, what you think about that?
I think he saying some real shit.
Yeah.
And like I said from the beginning, he talking this shit. He making sense. And it's definitely an easy fight to make for Boots and Brian Norman. It shouldn't really,
Right.
if they can't fight each other or can't make some type of good fight, it should be no reason why they're not trying to lock it in with Blair Cobbs.
Right. Especially when he's available too.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it now, since the IBF did what they did with the mandate, is that if Boots don't fight Karen, he lose the belt. So, and that is definitely something they're using as leverage for sure. So it's like,
But if they give him some step aside money, right? Can't they throw him some step
I think they can. I think they can. I'm not 100% sure about that. If y'all out there watching, y'all know that, drop it in the comments. Somebody, do something, smash the like button. I know how it go. I don't know though. I don't know. But it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure Karen would take some step aside money, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he really wants the belt. Maybe he really. I don't think so though, because judging from the first fight, I mean, did you see anything in Karen's demeanor that's like he could beat Boots or he wants any of that? I didn't. He lost all 12 rounds. I mean, you probably gave him one round if you love him to death.
He walked him into some good shots. I think the problem is he don't got the power to do nothing to him though. So it's kind of just pointless. Rather you got him missing and you on your bike and you running them in the shots. If it's not effective, what's the point of us watching it again? Because it was never effective enough for him to start winning.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think it was ever either as well. Now, let's move along a little bit to the 154-pound landscape where they kind of got a little crazy, You got Terrence Bud Crawford up there. You got Errol the Truth Spence. You got Jamel Charlo, former king. He's back. Now, Jamel and Errol were once great friends. Now, there is video evidence out there that shows where Jamel Charlo said he would not fight Errol Spence, but he fought his own damn brother. Then there is footage of Errol Spence saying he will fight Jamel if the money's right. Man, so now that we're here, we're actually at a place where these guys can actually fight. Yeah. I mean, it really could happen, Ace. You know what I mean? Especially since I believe Jamel he's champion in recess with the WBC and the WBA. I don't know. We got to look at that. I don't know. Somebody can check the source.
I think the question is why does Jermell avoid? Why does he want to avoid fighting Earl Spence? And why isn't it the same energy? Like, you know, with Keyshawn and Shakur, they can both come out publicly and be like, yeah, we wouldn't fight each other, blah, 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 whatever. But, you know, like you just explained, in this situation, Spence is willing to fight Jermell. Why is it that it's a one-sided thing? And why aren't you willing to fight him? I think that's the big question. Because if you ask me, even with Keyshawn and Shakur, I feel like, you know, one of you guys get the best of each other. And
Right.
it's go in there and just, you know what I mean, dominate one of your friends. Or be dominated by one of your friends.
And but see, this is the thing too, though. Now, sparring is sparring, like practice is practice. But there's something in somebody that comes out when the lights are on, and you really just can't manage, control, coach, or do anything with that. Like, it's just something that happens. So, okay, you might have got me in sparring. You got me in practice. You know what I'm saying? You made me sharpen my tools up. But then when we get in front of people and we out here, it might not go the way you think it's gonna go. And I think that's something that a lot of these guys fear as well. Because, yeah, you got the best of them when it didn't matter.
I think that's the confidence they lacking, though, is that, you know, whatever happened in sparring, they think that's the end all be all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus having that confidence you speaking of, like, man, under these lights, it's going to be totally different. You can think it's going to be like that sparring if you want. You know, it's a few that's built like that and we see it, but a lot of these dudes we see are divas.
I blame USA Boxing. You know, they were pampering these guys when they were young. And, you know, you just tell like they just used to. I mean, and it's cool, I guess, because, you know, they represent the country. They represent a lot of people that look like them. So, I mean, I can't knock it. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock it. But it's just like, yeah. I mean, the generation, it just seems a little mushy in the middle. If you know what I mean. I don't know. Hey, your mic went out. But yeah. So I don't know. But we were speaking a little bit earlier about you know, this Jaron in the situation. A lot of people were upset because Eddie Hearn was outbid in the purse bid for the Karen and Boots fight. And I wasn't surprised. I mean, I knew Eddie wasn't trying to win he said he didn't want the fight from the jump. So yeah. What sense would it make for him to, you know, win the bid? I mean, of course he's gonna let somebody else pay for it and make money. That makes sense. You know what I mean? To that you say what?
I'm thinking just like you is that Eddie probably lost the bid on purpose.
Right.
Didn't put too much into it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, why? Yeah, why in the hell would I try to win a bid of a fight I don't want?
Let's be honest. It's not a fight to put a bunch of money into. It's not worth it.
Right.
It's not worth overbidding and putting a bunch of money into and then it not making nothing back. You can't pay-per-view it.
Definitely not. But can you pay-per-view Blair Cobbs with either one of those two opponents?
On BLK Prime, you can.
He did mention BLK Prime. I heard him say something about BLK Prime. So
On
it's
there you can. On the Zone, I'm not sure because you already paying this big subscription with the Zone.
yeah. Would it make sense though?
Now Brian Norman versus Boots maybe can be a pay-per-view. I don't know. Maybe neither. Maybe none of them is pay-per-view.
For real? You don't think none of those fights can be pay-per-view at all? None of them?
I would say maybe none of them because it's not like either. It ain't like any of them are like super popular or just superstars. I think Boots is probably the closest to it at the moment.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, because it's people that ain't even seen a fighter just love the shit out of him and talking about he can beat this person and that person. They have no idea about him.
Yeah.
So I would say that has to play into being a superstar or having superstar status. I give him that. I mean, I can't argue with that. You know, but how do you feel about? I think we touched on it a little bit because I'm thinking people were, I've heard people say how smart Shakur Stevenson was signing with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom Boxing. But then the same people say that Eddie Hearn's a snake and he ain't got a plan for Jaron Boots Ennis. Now I'm looking, I'm like, I've heard different, just because you doing business one way with one person don't mean you do that same business the same way with all people. I get that. But when we talking about promoting and boxing, I feel like it's the same. And I don't think Eddie Hearn has a plan for either one of them for real. He's talking a lot and he ain't really doing anything. Like you bring Shakur Stevenson over to Matchroom Boxing, you say you want to make this man a superstar, one of the most skilled fighters in boxing, all this you talking, blah, 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 blah. And the first thing you do is throw him in there with Joe Cordina. Is that like that superstar stuff? Like, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe Cordina might surprise us or something. I mean, I think Shakur is gonna dominate him. Now the thing here goes where it gets tricky for me though, because I feel like they bringing Cordina in to get stopped, but if he doesn't get stopped, oh damn.
I think it might be a situation too where they just showing Shakur like, look how good we can treat you here. You should sign here for the long run. Look what we can do.
Listen, they ain't even got to do that. All they got to do is look at Jaron Boots' last fight numbers. Yeah. The man made $3.3 million in his last fight, and we don't even know who the hell the guy. I mean, come on, man. He fought leftovers.
Yeah.
So Shakur ain't really got to look too far. I mean, they showing they got the money. They will give it to you if you're willing to play ball.
But Cordina is definitely an underwhelming fight. I don't think that Eddie Hearn is considering Shakur's situation fully because, yeah, he has a cool fan base. People like him, but it's also a bunch of people who feel like they don't like him and they want to see more from him and they want to see him be challenged. And if Joe Cordina ends up being the guy that challenges him, that can hurt him.
Right. That could not turn out how he really wants. That could really not go. That could derail a lot of going. That could derail a lot of things they got going on over there at Riyadh season if that happens. But you know what? That is one thing I do like about those Riyadh season cards because they're not so predictable. And one thing they definitely mentioned there's always one upset. Facts. It's been proven. And the Americans are 0-8 in Saudi Arabia. Just want to put that out there. So Shakur has a chance to be the first American to get a dub. And I mean, look who they lined him up against. So he should get it. He should get it.
Where would this fight be at? Did they ever say a location?
I think it's in Saudi Arabia. I think it's in Saudi Arabia. That's why they brought up the 0-8 thing.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because remember, he did that Madrimov in Los Angeles. It ain't no telling where he tried to put it.
Correct. And he said he wanted to do more shows in Los Angeles. Now, remember what he got 12 fights with.
And on putting Shakur on some mega undercard or something?
That was it. The Riyadh season.
That's what I'm saying. So is the Cordina fight going to be on the undercard? Because I can't.
Yeah. It's the co-main for the Bivol and Beterbiev.
Oh, okay. That's big for him. I mean.
Oh wow! Shout out to Brian Norm. He just sent them. Let me read that message in a minute. I don't know that.
Okay.
That was crazy.
The platform is great for Shakur, but the fight is underwhelming. So to be on that undercard, to be on the Turkey Al-Sheikh card and stuff like that, it's a big platform. It's just an underwhelming fight. But maybe the new eyes that's watching that don't know so much, maybe they can become fans off of what they see, depending on the performance.
How likely do you think that is to happen?
For him to have a good performance and people gravitating?
Yeah, gravitate to that, and he grabbed new fans off whooping Joe Cordina.
I think he get new fans if it gets a lot of eyes to it, which I don't think a Beterbiev versus Bivol card go get too much new, outside of boxing going to watch it, not in America at least.
Right,
so I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. Maybe he gained some UK fans or something. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure the UK fans, they're aware that Joe Cordina isn't the toughest challenge.
Right. I mean, the man only got one loss, and the TKO loss, but he's a tough customer. But like I said, I don't think he's a formidable. Maybe that's the wrong word to use. Maybe he is a formidable opponent for Shakur. I don't think he's just the toughest challenge they could present to him at this point. I don't believe that at all.
Like I said the last time, I heard him say Jose Cepeda, and I hope he meant William Cepeda.
He probably meant Willie. It's a bunch of Cepedas out there.
But you know how them promoters like to do? They sit there and choose a guy with a similar name or a similar last name or somebody the guy fought, and then they get you with that. You know what I mean? Like they might be saying Cepeda, and then slip that Jose Cepeda fight on us when we thinking is William Cepeda. So now they built the tension around something that just ain't happening.
It could happen, man.
I hope that's not the case. I think that
Hopefully.
Shakur can actually beat William Cepeda. I think it'll be a good fight. Probably one of his tougher fights. I ain't gonna say his toughest, but one of his tougher fights. Hopefully he go in there and throw his hands like the fans would want to see. But I think he can beat Cepeda.
Yeah, I think he beats Cepeda too. I think Oscar De La Hoya, he's trying to, if anything, he gonna sell that old for Cepeda at the the highest dollar, but he trying to protect that dude. I mean, I saw that. I saw the protection mode as soon as he's the number one contender in a couple different divisions. So when it was on him to press the gas, and then Oscar started saying, "Well, Shakur, if he doesn't sign with me, we're not making the fight." I said, "Yeah, come on, Oscar. You know good and damn well this dude ain't signing with you, man. Come on, man. Stop playing."
Give me De Los Santos versus Cepeda. I think that's a hell of a fight.
Yeah. I mean, De Los Santos need to come on with it, man. De Los Santos need to bring his ass on. He need to bring his ass on. Like, I don't know where he been at, but because he can really mess this whole thing up, dog. He can ruin a lot of stories. He can, disrupt a lot of dreams.
Definitely.
But he got to come on with it, man. De Los Santos, if you listen to us right now, go, yeah, man, bring your ass on up out of here, man. Hey, shout out to my dude Broadway over there in New York. You know, he told me about him. Ace, we know we kind of got on him at the same time when we saw after the El Rayo joint, and a little bit before that maybe for you. But De Los Santos, man, it was funny how before he fought Shakur, a lot of people were saying he wasn't shit. Even after he fought Shakur, a lot of people were saying he wasn't shit. But then Shakur Stevenson says how good this guy is. Now they're raving and ripping and all this other shit. What you think about that?
I think fans don't really be knowing what they watching. They just like who they like. It's got to be that, because if you look at any of his performances, dominant, knockout artist, boxer, puncher, what is there not to notice? You know what I mean? Even the fight with Shakur, you know, I got the punch count. He beat Shakur on my punch count. I don't know.
Man, maybe we need to, you know, drop a couple clips on here, man. You know what I mean, for the people. Should do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. That, I know we kind of went on it before, but yeah, that's the thing about this right here. You know, the breakdown like that, because that is a lot of, maybe not necessarily people don't know what they're looking at, but don't know what to look for. I don't know, or maybe a little bit of both. But yeah, the De Los Santos. Okay. Got a little bit of whoopty wham, huh?
Oh, I'm like that. I'll pass it. Seen body shot land right on the belt. It was a lot of body shots they didn't count for De Los Santos. And I think that jab was the punch that changed Shakur's whole game plan, I felt like.
Oh yeah, he wasn't
Took another.
getting with it, huh?
So that's already 3 punches he landed. The first minute, Shakur hasn't landed anything. And all this is every single punch thrown in the fight, and then I just pause the moments they actually land a punch. That's 4 punches landed. Shakur has still yet to land some. Well, right there is 4-1 now.
See, this is an interesting, like, this type of breakdown. I think this is what the fans need, man. I think this is what the people need to see. I think this is what the people, need to embrace and understand and try to learn. You know what I mean? I think even Shakur will watch this and be like a little bit impressed. I mean, it would just have to be, because, the eye in the sky don't lie. It never does, never will.
I think he probably has watched it.
Mm.
To be honest.
Did he comment?
Nah, but you just never know, because when I put it out, it just hit the algorithm pretty good. So you just never know. He probably did watch it, because he would want to see reactions to his most boring fight.
Okay. Man, is it anything else you're looking at touching on, Ace, man? Like, I brought out a couple, we talked about a couple of things, but is there anything that's bothering you? That's, it's just crazy, man. De Los Santos, where the hell are you at? Edwin, where art thou?
That's what's bothering me. Where Edwin at?
Where the hell is Edwin? Edwin, we're gonna put an APB out for you. We're gonna bring you back, dog. Just not gonna bring you back.
After I watched this fight, I said it's gonna be hard for Edwin to get another fight, because for one, that's why people calling in, they putting that narrative like, oh, it's the most boring fight ever. They both did this and that, and it's both of their fault. And It's like, bro, you know what this nigga was in there fighting. You know what this dude was in there doing, and he even know it. That's why he speaks so highly of him.
I agree with that.
But they're not counting a lot of these punches you see that's landing. That's the fucked up part as well. So you just lost a controversial fight. You're good. People can see you're good, especially if they're boxers. They can see how good you are. You got a punch too as well. They feel like, why the fuck would I fight this nigga? I'm not gonna get no money. I can
No,
go fight
true.
somebody weaker for more money because their name is more popular. And they don't have this bad reputation of having a boring fight at this point now. Because that's all people know Edwin for now is having the most boring fight with Shakur Stevenson.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah, it's trash, but that's definitely that's definitely what he's known for because it's unfortunate, but that's how it is, you know. So what have you done for me lately? And that was the latest performance. That's why I'm shocked he ain't been in the ring at least once or twice. You know what I mean? Just try to show like, hey, bro, it ain't me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody got to be willing to put that bag behind him. I
Yeah,
don't think he got the bag behind him. You see, he been like a B-side opponent and just so happened to beat guys he was supposed to lose to.
yeah.
It's
Maybe
kind of
I
like,
don't know.
it be certain fighters, they don't have that Olympic background and all the backing and stuff like that, but they do got the skill, the grit and everything they need. It just the promoters don't see it yet because they don't got the resume to show it.
Sometimes it's unfortunate. Yeah, that's like that, man. It's like that, man. I don't know, man. Maybe we
Look,
can maybe we'll have an update for him, you know what I'm saying, on Friday on Punch Count. You know what I mean? We can find out, get some insight on what the fuck, you know, De Los Santos said. You know.
nah, for
Yeah. Hey man, we appreciate y'all tapping in, you know, on another episode of Punch Count. Your boy Joe Prophet. You know, I'm with my player partner, Ace Boogie, aka GOD TV. You know what I'm saying? And man, Ace, you want anything you want to tell the people, man, before we get up out of here?
hey, look, man, make sure to be tuned in for these lives, these punch counts. We got a bunch of information that's useful for you if you're a boxing fan. So make sure you tap in, man.
Feel me? Smash the like button. Share this thing with somebody you think you use. Give them some news. Give them some news they could use, man. And we catch y'all next week, man. Peace.
Yeah.